The air was crisp, filled with the joy of Christmas. It was 1945, and the Sodder family, Italian immigrants living in Fayetteville, West Virginia, prepared for the holidays. George and Jenny Sodder had 10 children, their home bustling with laughter and love. But this Christmas Eve, their world would shatter. As the winter night deepened, 5 of the Sodder children begged to stay up late. Jenny agreed, unaware it was a decision that would haunt her forever. Later that night, George saw the house engulfed in flames. Panicked, George rushed to save his family. He managed to get Jenny and 4 of their children out, but the flames blocked access to the second floor where the other 5 slept. By the time firefighters arrived, the house was a smoldering ruin. There was no sign of the 5 missing children. Days turned into weeks, and the Sodders grew more suspicious. A team of investigators combed through the ashes, but the children's remains were never found. How could a fire completely consume 5 bodies, leaving no trace? Strange details began to surface. Witnesses claimed seeing the missing children in a passing car on the night of the fire. Others reported receiving phone calls from people claiming to have the children. Then there was the curious case of the recovered ladder. George had left a ladder propped against the house, but during the blaze, it was gone. Weeks later, the ladder mysteriously reappeared. The Sodders were left grappling with an unbearable question. Had their children perished in the fire, or had something more sinister occurred? Local authorities initially treated the case as a tragic accident, but the lack of evidence and mounting inconsistencies forced them to reconsider. Was it possible the fire was a cover-up for something more sinister? Had someone kidnapped the Sodder children? The investigation was plagued by missteps and dead ends. Leads went cold. Witnesses proved unreliable, and the trail grew colder with each passing year. The FBI was called in, but even their resources couldn't provide conclusive answers. Despite the lack of progress, the Sodders refused to give up hope. They hired private investigators, offered rewards, and even erected a billboard with pictures of their missing children, hoping someone, somewhere, held the key to the mystery. But as the years turned into decades, the Sodders were left with more questions than answers. Section 4. Theories take root. Whispers of a conspiracy. With no concrete answers, theories about the Sodder children's disappearance ran rampant. Some whispered about a family feud gone wrong, while others pointed fingers at organized crime, claiming the children were kidnapped and sold. A few even entertained the idea of a revenge plot, suggesting someone with a grudge against George Sodder had set the fire. One of the most persistent theories involved a possible connection to the Italian mafia. George Sodder, a vocal critic of Mussolini, had made enemies in the past. Could they have been involved in the fire, seeking to silence him and punish him in the most devastating way imaginable? Another theory suggested the children were taken to a remote location and raised under new identities. This idea gained traction when a woman contacted the Sodders, claiming to be their missing daughter, but the lead ultimately proved fruitless. The lack of concrete evidence allowed these theories to flourish, each one adding another layer of intrigue and despair to an already heartbreaking mystery. Section 5. A lifetime of searching scars that never heal. The disappearance of the Sodder children cast a long shadow over the family. George and Jenny never stopped searching for their missing children, their grief a constant companion. They dedicated their lives to uncovering the truth, chasing down every lead no matter how improbable. The remaining Sodder children grew up haunted by the loss of their siblings. The happy memories of Christmases past were forever tainted by the tragedy of that fateful night. They carried the weight of their parents' grief and the unanswered questions that lingered like smoke in the air. Years turned into decades, and still, the Sodders refused to give up hope. They clung to the belief that their children were still alive, somewhere out there, unaware of their true identities. It was a hope that sustained them through the darkest of times, a flicker of light in a seemingly endless tunnel of despair. Section 6. The mystery endures. Unanswered questions linger. The case of the missing Sodder children remains one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries in American history. Despite numerous investigations and the tireless efforts of a heartbroken family, the truth remains elusive. Time has done little to diminish the intrigue, and it continues to captivate and haunt those who delve into its depths. Did the Sodder children perish in the fire that Christmas Eve, or were they victims of something more sinister? Were they spirited away in the dead of night, their identities erased, condemned to a life shrouded in secrecy? Or did the flames truly claim them, their remains lost to the ashes, leaving behind a void that could never be filled? The questions linger, a testament to the enduring power of this unsolved mystery. The case of the missing Sodder children serves as a chilling reminder that even in the most seemingly idyllic of settings, darkness can lurk, and some secrets are destined to remain buried forever.